So ended his immortal life, in a complex twist of how to end a curse like that. In the end, what is equal, love or hate, but what truly affects is true powerful love when it is equally created. In the end, the curse was broken, and the curse of 400 years of life of darkness, of no longer having any emotions, and many things more, is finally put to rest. The angry anime fan, the despair reviewer, and this is Fairytale, episode 47 of the final series. Yes, not so much long now. We are now very close to the climax. I can feel it because the episode ended with a slight crack in the dimensional time, possibly implying that Acnologia is not down for the count yet. Well, he is a dragon who eats magic. It wouldn't surprise me if he can eat time as well. But this episode is not about that. This episode is about what people can complain about, not really, and what is more of the fact what they have to look in the bigger picture. Last time the angry anime fan had to bring you it, and last time Natsu managed to overpower Sereth, but he did say that his body would eventually heal. So Mavis appeared to have a talk with him, revealing that she believed that their curse could be broken if they both loved each other equally. But she also feels that her love wasn't big enough. So as a very beautiful but sad music plays, she begins to throw a different kind of tantrum, a conflicted emotion that is brought along by the curse, saying that she loves Seraph but she hates him as well, seeing what happened to Makarov and many things more. But in the end, as much as she wants Seraph to die, as much as she hates him for what he has done, she can also not fully bring herself to hate him as well. Seeing all this makes Seraph immensely happy, realizing what Mavis is trying to do. And with that, their emotions of love become equal. A guiding light appears, and after 400 years of torment living, and a deathly curse, Sereth can finally ascend to the heavens, with Mavis joining him in, therefore leaving behind the fairytale creators, but not before leaving behind one final gift to the people. And here is what people may feel a little bit complain about. I mean, I can understand that it would have been a little bit bigger point if he had stayed dead. He was old after all. But it's worth noting that it's not like he awakens and he is in his prime. No, he's talking more weakly than ever. I don't think he can ever be as strong as he used to be. But it's Makarov. Makarov actually opens his eyes and returns back to life. But it's implied that with their final dying breath, Sereth and Mavis used the last bit of their magic they had to give Makarov back the time he lost casting Fairy Law. Meaning that if he is going to die in a future, it will be by natural causes, not by casting a magic. What makes this scene, even though a lot of people will probably complain about this, the music when this is played, and especially seeing Lux's happy but truly emotional face in this, you know that he was devastated when his grandfather died just like that. But he still pulled it along because they were in a battle. So for him to unleash that emotion, that is real. And just as Sereth is ascending to the heaven, Lucy manages to rewrite the E&D book, but gets too infected by the demon power. But Grey, having demon-slaying magic, managed to vanquish the infected that is poisoning Lucy, effectively proving the prophecy that he would defeat E&D. Because this is a little bit more of the exact word. He promised he would defeat E&D, and technically he did. He defeated the E&D infection from the book. With that, though, with Seraph gone, the E&D book vanishes, but having rewritten Natsu's life, the book is no longer tied to his life force, and thus Natsu is saved. The battle is over. Or is it? As beautiful magic is played, and Natsu and Lucy and Grey all walks away, wondering what they're gonna do now, with Grey wanting to talk to Yuvia and Lucy finding a Korea's key. Suddenly they turn around and Natsu is nowhere to be found, and they quickly fall back into despair, as Lucy wonders that she thought that she wrote the book right, but now it seems to imply that she didn't. However, I think there's something else in the matter here, because we still because even though the one of the guys managed to contact Jalal and the groups, it's worth noting that for some reason Wendy is not there as well. And even though we did see Luxus holding Makarov, that seems to have taken some time before everything else. And speaking of which, where is the Oración Says and the Cobra? Well, regardless, I think we will find that out, because the crack in the time prison or whatever is breaking apart, which probably can only mean one thing: Acnologia is back. We have vanquished, or they have vanquished the antagonist that is Seraph. With that, the only true villain is left, and that is Acnologia, because I have a feeling that Anksaram is not going to be relevant. Either way, defeating Seraph and you have won the war, defeating Acnologia, and there will be true peace, because he is the true embodiment of evil. With the cracking of time, the space prison is opening. The battle is not over yet. So that's basically this episode. Again, I can agree that Makarov staying dead would have felt a little bit more of an emotional moment. His sacrifice in the anime was a very beautiful and sad situation, especially with the music that played here. So this almost downplays that a little bit, but that's not what you felt when you first saw it. However, the music in this episode, it was truly saves this episode. The music that plays when Seraph and Mavis finally dies together is a very beautiful one. When Grey and Lucy reunites with Natsu and Makarov being revived, all that plays in a very beautiful and familiar tone. So it really settles the episode as an episode of emotion. This is not an episode of rage. It is meant to be an episode of emotion. So give me your thoughts if you have any.